EBS comes out, how long do you think it's going to last for, and what kind of information are people going to get when the EBS comes out?
Good question. So in the EBS, I think there's three main issues you got to look at. Election fraud, and that's from Executive Order 13848, and that's going to be even down to the Postal Service guys. You don't understand, those FEMA camps are made for them. It was made for us originally, but the White Hats took those over. Those FEMA camps are going to be there for them, and they're going to federal prison. You understand? You cooperated with it. City councils, all these other people, man, they're toast. And it is a federal crime, because if you're a federal employee, you have to sign, things that say that you will protect the election. You do it, you're going to jail. So election fraud you have to deal with. The COVID, which was a cover, it was their, it was the White Hat. I mean, the Black Hats trying to kill people, but the White Hats were going, fine, we're going to, minimize it as much as possible. But it is a part of the war. So you got to kill that so that the emergency issues happens. And that's when you go through, I said it wrong one time. I said Cash Patel, but it's Patriot Patel, or Patel Patriot, sorry. God, I keep saying that wrong. But Patel Patriot put together a 13-part series you can go watch on devolution. They devolved the government so that they could protect the Constitution, okay? And lastly is child trafficking. Once people see the child trafficking, the election fraud, the COVID, all the stuff that happens, those guys are toast. I mean, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, really heavy left, really heavy right wing. I don't care where you are. You're going to go, you know what? If you did anything, you're toast. And this Lloyd Brunson case that's out there, I think that's going to come out too, and just legitimize Trump. So it's going to wipe the government out. All those people are gone. You don't realize this has already been going on, but we're trying to get the last bit of that. Now, some people will go on and say, we're going to close everything down. You're going to have food and water for, 3 months, or, I'm like, okay. Do you understand that Trump is an economist? If you close down businesses for more than a week and a half, 2 weeks or whatever, you might as well just shut their businesses off. They don't have the money to keep going. They don't literally, they got to pay paychecks and pay other things. They can't, I rent from my people. Everyone wants some money from me, okay? All my bills don't go away. I have cost of goods that I have to pay for. That just doesn't float away just for the heck of it. Because you go, well, the debts go away. Yeah, but I have debts to, another business. I've got to pay those. So I personally, this is the Scott viewpoint. I don't think it's 10 days of darkness. I think we've gone through that. I think it's a 3 or 4 day period of time. We see the real stuff. And then this is Scott, this is me, okay, this is what I believe. I think then you see the guy on CNN or whatever, and it's a guy and his shirt's all like messed up and his hair's all mussed up, and you've never seen him before. He's just some background producer, like the second producer of whatever. And he gets up there and he starts talking, well, okay, let's talk about what happened. And because I don't care how long you present the information, you've got a lot more information to get through. So media comes back online, but it's the real media. And they're going to be asking, they're going to have to asking Kevin, I hope they ask me, but I think they're going to ask a lot of like Patel Patriot. They're going to ask a lot about these other people who've been silenced and say, come on to our show and explain to us the child trafficking, explain to us the election fraud, explain to us this thing that you knew. And they're going to ask questions of a lot of different people. And so it's going to be going on for months and months and months. But by the way, life is already starting to get back to normal. So I think it's the EBS is a very short thing. And then, you're going to have to keep filtering the real information. Now that the big stuff's out, we got to learn about like what happened to Sandy Hook. We got to learn about what happened to Oklahoma City bombing. What happened to Bill Clinton? What happened to 9/11? What happened to JFK? What happened to Vietnam? There's a ton of little bits of information that we really need to investigate. And I believe movie theaters are going to be all about that. You're going to see, like, I mean, forget about watching Tom Hanks or anyone. You're going to want to see the newest, thing on 9/11 or the JFK, the real stuff of JFK. What really happened in World War I? So it's going to be after the big reveal. There's still a ton of reveal that's going to happen after that. So
now, if the Supreme Court doesn't rule in our favor in regards to the Brunson case, I mean, according to Nesara law, every elected official has to get removed. So even
I
if the
think Brunson
case,
is 100% going to happen, though. I mean,
okay.
it's one. I mean, if you understand how Brunson came into effect, I mean, by the way, there are 4 trumpeters. I mean, it's a type and shadow of the Bible. Okay, guys. I mean, it's so amazing how they set this stuff up. Again, types and shadows. Okay. There were some obscure case and then they were accelerated. Why were they accelerated? Why didn't they happen in 2021? It's because the White Hat still had stuff to do in 21. I'm sorry, but there were some things that had to happen. Why are you hearing about it right now? Why is Trump talking the way he's doing? Why is the inflation at an unsolvable level? Why are all the countries, all the nations of the BRICS nations already gold backed? Why is Iraq ready to do their switchover event? Why are all these things happening? Because it's all coming to a head. I'm a fiction writer. I mean, I write fiction and do that as well. And you can just see the climax hitting. The Brunson case is going to happen. I promise you it's going to occur. It'll wipe them out because of the simplicity of the case. The simplicity is they took it in, and because they did not follow constitutional procedure, they're trapping them. We had to do it all legally. The constitutional procedure says if there's a problem, and by the way, this actually occurred in the 2000 with Gore and Bush. They did not do it in 9/11. I mean, for the January 6th. And here's the thing: no defendant, which is all the Congress and Senate and all the other, and the president, everyone else, no one objected to this. Why didn't they object to it? They had every right to object to it the day before Thanksgiving, because they're already controlled. They already know it. You guys don't understand. There's a background of they already know it. They're just going to get washed out. Now, we have to have a new elections to bring those people in. I do not know her her name effectively, but I think it's Tina Forte or something like that. She's a congresswoman, sorry, in New York, and she was going to take AOC's role. She won. Trust me, she won. Kim Kalak in Baltimore, she won in 2020. There's no question she won. Carrie Lake won. The reality is, there are going to be some maybe they'll bring in. I don't actually know how that's going to work, but I think we have to. Nesara actually has to have new elections 120 days after. So people ask me all the time, like, did it happen? No, Nesara has to be announced, in some way by Trump. So the EBS is going to show you the election fraud and go show you, hey, listen, they're out. They're out. So sorry.
Do you think EBS is going to talk about Nesara and how it was suppressed, and now that he's back, we're going to use Nesara.
I don't know that EBS will necessarily talk about Nesara. I have a white hat person. I cannot say her name because she gives me deep information. She's an intelligence officer and years ago, and she and I talk about stuff. I'm like, well, what about? And she goes, oh no, let me tell you. And I'm like, what? I mean, I've researched this stuff, but she knows stuff I just get scared about. But to your point is that I say, well, don't they want to say the statement of Nesara? And she doesn't believe that Nesara will be said that way. What they might go is, here's the blockchain for the quantum financial system. By the way, SG Anon showed, I think it's 6155, a legislation came out about a year or so ago, or a couple of years ago, I can't remember. And it's the quantum informational system. It's the basis of the quantum financial system that happened after Trump wrote his executive orders. So he might come talk about the QFS, and he might talk about this and the election issues, but they're all pieces of Nesara. And so I don't know how he's going to say it. I'd love him to say Nesara. I'm like, can't you just say it? How it's been put out there. I think he'll say it sometime, but I don't think he says it exactly word for word. I don't know.
Do you think it's likely that we're going to see Nesara before 2024?
1000% happening very soon. I mean, I'm shocked and surprised. All of my friends too, that are in the movement, are shocked and amazed it hasn't happened. Everything pointed that it should have happened, but again, there's two things that are involved with this. I want you guys to think this way. I want you to think about the NASA person, the director, and he's like, no go, no go, no, and they go through, go, no go, go, no go, and they go, go, no go. Oh, wait, what's happening? This is a military action, number one, but you always got to follow the money. World War I was exactly about money. It was all about money. Vietnam, all about money. Here's the reality. We still need to have the money in place so that we can have, the military situation be done and be involved. And so, there's no possibility of us waiting till 2024. And frankly, that's a made up thing. I mean, we think of 2024 and like, why do we say 2024? I don't know. It makes no sense. And people go, yeah, but he announced his candidacy in 2024. You weren't listening to his speech. When he made that speech, he did say the candidacy, but he also then he started talking about now. I'm like, he's giving you a bit of a double message, and I'm tired of the double messages. I wish he would just get into it, but he can't. Okay, he's got to be removed from that point. This has to be a military issue, and you do not share what's happening until the reality comes. So it's a military / monetary action, and it's happening soon. I mean, the House of Cards is barely holding on. So it's any moment. I think it's very, very, very soon.